Hi everyone, it's Cooking Everything Outdoor show. And even though it's a little windy and blustery today, we're going to make stuffed artichokes. Beautiful, large artichokes. We're stuffing them in a Dutch oven. The Outdoor Cook, Cooking Everything Outdoors show. I hope you try this at home. Well, where do we start? A couple things. Let's go over the ingredients and things that we're going to need. 12-inch Dutch oven. I have 4 large globed artichokes. Now you'll notice there's a couple differences on the artichokes. Sometimes you'll find them with the leaves that are really tight to the globe. Those are really, really good, but it makes it harder to stuff. So I tried to find some that were more open than normal, and that's going to make it a lot easier to get our stuffing in this. I need 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. Those are going to be minced. Have about a half a cup of bacon. Bacon goes in everything, right? A quarter cup, a little bit over a quarter cup of Romano Parmesan cheese, 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We may not use it all, and a half a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. We're going to need about a quarter cup of flat leaf parsley. I like flat leaf parsley. There's a lot more flavor to it. And these, in my opinion, are really the bare minimum that you want to use to stuff an artichoke. It's endless what you put in one of these. You can let your imagination go absolutely crazy, but this is what I'm just going to call the bare minimum to get you started, so you can see how easy it is to do. And really the toughest part about all this is just trimming this up. I'll show you how to do that next. One of the things that you're going to need is a really good sharp pair of kitchen shears. I like these, and these are lethal. And they come with a little sheath to keep them secure from getting poked and cut, and that's a big win. So, our artichoke. One of the things that we want to take off are these end pieces, these short leaves that are on the stem. They're really quite stringy and tough to eat. So once we've got that off, don't trim the stem yet. That's the last thing we're going to do, and I'll show you why. I'm going to take all these little thorns, and we're just going to trim the end off of it. And I got to tell you, when I just eat an artichoke by itself, I don't bother doing this, but I'm going to be putting my hands down in these little pockets, and I really just don't want to get it poked up too bad. The other big reason why you want to do this is really it's just eye candy. It makes it look so much nicer. And then, you know, presentation is really 50% of the taste, right? What's the other 50%? Perhaps anticipation? If you starve them long enough, they'll think everything's good. I've done that a few times with my kids. So this, just about where we want it. I'm going to get these last few off. Now this crown, if you will, the top of the artichoke, I'm going to cut flat. I'll show you a nice sharp kitchen knife, and because these are tough, and don't get your fingers anywhere near there, and just trim those flat. Tack it from both sides so you have a beautiful globe like that. That's open, ready to be stuffed. Missed a couple here, I see. And that's what we're looking for. Just perfect. Now I'm going to get the others trimmed up, and I'll show you how to stuff them in the Dutch oven. I have the artichokes all trimmed up. You can see them here. I'm using a Camp Chef 12-inch Dutch oven. This is standard size. And just so you'll get an idea how they fit, they nestle in there really, really nice. But for stuffed artichokes, they're upside down. So that's why I said to cut the stem last, because we really got to get an idea of where those stems have to be cut. And they're going to control the height, but they're also going to give us a little bit of spacing on the water that we're going to be pouring in there to steam and cook these with. So I'm going to start with cutting off the stem at about an inch, maybe an inch and a half here, and we'll take and do a quick fit. I don't want to take off too much of the stem because part of that stem is good to eat. We want to get a good consistent. Got to get some of these baby leaves here. Good consistent height. Where's that cut that I was making? Okay, let's do a test fit. A little tricky to balance. Okay, that's what we're looking for. They will kind of fall over a little bit, but as you gaze across the top, I've got these two that have got to be trimmed a little bit more. And you know, that's all you're going to do, just test fit them. And get the lid, put that on to make sure that seals. And you've got some height in here on your lid. You got another inch of clearance, so that's going to help. And we don't have to worry about the artichokes touching the top of the lid. That's going to be okay because we're not putting any top heat on our Dutch oven. This is all coming underneath. We're just boiling and steaming them. So those fit. Now we're going to mix up the stuffing mix. I'll show you how to do that. Artichokes are trimmed and cut. Now we're going to mix our stuffing together. Really simple. You know, I really took and made this recipe as simple as possible. So it'd be perfect for camping. Don't have to pack a lot of stuff, but you know, let your imagination go wild. If you want to add some heat, some sweet, whatever flavors you think that might go with artichoke, that would be something to consider stuffing it with. We're going with half a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, a little over a quarter cup of Parmesan Romano shredded cheese, good half a cup of bacon bits, garlic. My original recipe called for 3 cloves. I honestly don't ever remember following a recipe on garlic, but we're going to mince these up, or you could easily just leave them as a dice depending on what type of flavor that you want. The flavor profile with garlic being steamed and such will probably leave it being a little more harsher than you anticipated. So here again, roast your garlic first. That would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Just want to get these little pieces cut up real quick. Go back and give them a nice mince as soon as I'm done with the big chunking. More garlic, the better. Okay, I'm happy with that. My patience is about worn out on mincing. Put that in there. And now we need our flat leaf parsley. And this is a quarter cup of minced parsley. So that means you measure it afterwards, after you've minced it. Dicing's fine, just chop it up. And just a little bit at a time. Sans the stems. And that looks like I'm going to add just a few more in there. Really, really sharp knife makes a difference. Okay. To clean this up a little bit, we'll mix it and start stuffing. Well, it's time to mix it up. And just a spoon, get it blended really well. And what we're going to do is add our extra virgin olive oil. That's just to keep it glopped together. Now the recipe calls for 4 tablespoons. You may not need that much. We're going to put in about 3 right now to give it a start. And really what it just want a wet consistency, pastiness, if you will. Those breadcrumbs will soak that up pretty darn quick. Not even pastiness, that's probably over exaggeration. We're going to go for all 4 here. Just as a binder, a little flavor enhancer. That's about what we're looking for. Something that when we get a hold of it, it's not a dry powder. All right. So let's start stuffing this. Now we've got 4 artichokes, and we need to use 1/4 of this on each one. So I like to put it over a bowl. It's kind of messy. And basically we're just, as you can see, we're just pouring it in there. And you can add as much or as little as you like. And you might run out of the stuffing mix. But that's really what I'm looking for. You want to work it down in those leaves. So it makes a nice stuffed presentation. Okay. And we'll fit that in there. Now don't worry, these will fall over. It's gonna happen. Let me get these other ones stuffed up and show you how to get it going. Okay, our artichokes are stuffed, sitting in our 12-inch Camp Chef Dutch oven. I'm going to add some water to it. I have here is about 1 quart of water, and I really just want to bring it up to about the depth of the stem, which was about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. And that's just about right. About a quart of water seemed to be about where we want it to be. And these are going to cook or steam, actually. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to steam them for 1 hour. About halfway through this, we're going to take a peek, make sure we're not running out of water. Now, what else could you put in there besides water? Chicken broth would work. Beer, yeah, would work great. You could add a little bit of wine, any of these things to infuse some flavor in there. It wouldn't hurt at all. Let me get the stove fired up. On high. Open this bad boy up. Okay. Very gently move it over to the stove. Why a stove? I don't know if you've ever tried to boil water with a Dutch oven with charcoal. It can be done, but it's difficult to manage it. Plus, keep it at a rolling simmer for an hour with charcoal is also a challenge. Doesn't mean you can't do it. You want to do it, go for it. Let me know how it went. But I got a Camp Chef stove here, 30,000 BTUs, and I'm boiling this bad boy on that. Get that centered over the burner there. Once that gets to a boil, we're going to cover it up. And it took all of 4 minutes to bring this to a rolling boil. So that's where I've got it. I'm going to turn it down to low. Get our lid on there. Check my time. 30 minutes from now, I'm going to check it for water. And that will just continually, we're just going to steam that. I got a low rolling simmer going in there. I'm going to steam those artichokes for about an hour. See you then. We've been on a rolling simmer for about 30 minutes. Time to check, see if we need any more water. Okay, they're cooking up real nice. Yes, we need some water. We'll add a little bit of warm water to it. Maybe 2 cups. Bring that up to a boil. Which will only take a minute or so, and then I'll turn it back down to a simmer. Kind of just listen for it, get an idea. As soon as that gets going, another 30 minutes and we're going to be ready. 1 hour. Artichokes are done. Before I pull them off, I want to show you a little sauce, a dipping sauce that gosh, my dad used to make this, and I have no idea where it even came from or what, but it's super simple. It's basically 4 ingredients: mayonnaise, ketchup, lemon juice, and good helping of pepper. It takes absolutely nothing to mix this up. It's all stuff you take with you camping anyway, and it makes a nice, sweet, somewhat lemony dip. I have about a half a cup of mayonnaise and ketchup. Fairly even ratios there. Sometimes I'll go a little more ketchup. About a teaspoon of lemon juice. And a good teaspoon of coarse black pepper. And then we'll get this all mixed up. Takes nothing. But once we get past the leaves with the stuffing, I want something to dip those leaves into, and the heart is what I really like dipped in this. That's really about it. Let's take a test. Tastes good. I'd add a little bit more ketchup to it, but I think you get the general idea on how that goes. A little sweet with the ketchup and some tartness with the lemon and a little more ketchup. So let's get these artichokes pulled and plated up. Nice and tender. This is nice. Now a little secret here on getting these out of the Dutch oven. Find the artichokes that are leaning over the most and pull those first, because if you don't, can't think of the word, eventually one of those bad boys is going to dump over. Not like it's happening right there. There they are. Here's 3 of the 4. Plated up beautifully. Some extra cheese over the top of that. And you have stuffed artichokes cooked in a Dutch oven, a la cooking everything outdoors. Hey, take a minute to thank my sponsors, outdoorcooking.com, campchef.com, islandgrillstone.com. Go visit every one of them. Without them, I couldn't be doing this. Thank you everybody for the comments you've been leaving on iTunes, for support of the website, and Facebook, and Twitter. Really, really appreciate that. Got a lot of great stuff coming up. So stick with me. A lot of fun. Got my new DVD just came out, Taking Your Dutch Oven to the Max. Go to the website, cooking-outdoors.com. Check it out. I'll send you one with just a small fee. Thanks everybody. We'll see you later.